Blessed be the name of the Lord. The name of this message, the title of this message is Waiting for the Return of Jesus. See, the world has always tried to shut us up by law, by ridicule, and ridiculing is of the devil. That's why the Bible clearly criticizes mockers, mocking, ridiculing. Righteousness is often ridiculed, God is ridiculed, Christians are ridiculed. They try to shut us down, shut us up, keep us quiet, and of course all of that comes from Satan. One example of that is the fire and brimstone thing. Preachers used to preach about hell and damnation as a warning to people, as a reminder that there is eternity that we need to consider. And there is, people die, and then there's two ways we can go. So they would talk, they would preach, they would warn people about eternal death or eternal life. Today, it's called fire and brimstone preaching, and people laugh at it. It's considered totally ancient and pathetic and old. But what, there's no hell? There's no death? How did that happen? I think fear of death is a healthy reminder that we need to consider our lives. They belong to God, and God is in charge ultimately. Now, another way they try to shut us up is the hate speech thing. The truth becomes hate speech, right? But there's one more way they want to shut us up, and it's about, they want to ridicule the preaching about the last days. You don't hear too many pastors talking about the return of Jesus. You don't see too many Christians expecting the return of Jesus, unfortunately, waiting for it. If you talk about the last days, the very last days, I know we've been living in the last days since the cross, but this is the very last days. We are closer to the end now than we were 2,000 years ago, and this is the last moments on earth. In the big story, in the big scheme of things, this is moments. We're moments away from the end. All the signs point to it, and our eyes are open and we can see it. The world is denying it, but we know. We're not in darkness. They are in darkness. And it's not a unhealthy preoccupation to wait for Jesus. When I mentioned to one Christian friend that I want to stand on a street with a sign, "The end is near," as a warning to everybody, to remind them that running after money and pleasures of this life is not everything, he laughed at me. He laughed at me. The idea is ridicule to the point that it brings laughter even in Christians, as if it's so strange or just funny for somebody to stand on us, because we always associate these signs with a homeless person, for example. You know, the poor of this world are often closer to God than the rich, so it's no wonder that's often we see homeless people standing on street signs, well, not so often anymore, with on street corners with signs, not so often anymore. But it's not a funny thing. It's a warning. I mean, we'll see how people are laughing. That's what God is talking about. We'll see how people are laughing when the end is coming, right? People often talk about God. Well, don't you think that God has a sense of humor? Well, yes. But his sense of humor is very different from a human sense of humor. Human sense of humor is too often of the mocking type. God's sense of humor is, I will laugh now at you because you laughed at me your whole life. I want to point out that the preoccupation with the coming of Jesus is not unhealthy. There's nothing wrong with waiting for the coming of Jesus. Jesus said in Luke 12:36, "Be like men who are waiting for their master to come home from the wedding feast, so that they may open the door for him at once when he comes and knocks." We're waiting for our master to come back at the door. If somebody is coming to visit you, Don't you want to wait and watch out the window, see if they are close, if they are coming? We are often anxious about somebody coming over to visit us. If you're a young guy and a girlfriend is coming over to visit, you are waiting for her, right? The girlfriend is waiting for her boyfriend to come over. When the family is coming, you may peek out the window and see, is that them parking the car? Is it them? So how come we're not waiting for Jesus to come back? How come we're not watching out for him? Matthew 25:13, watch therefore. In 1 Thessalonians 1:9 and 10, Paul says he's commanding the Thessalonian church for waiting for God's Son from heaven. In Romans 8, it says that the whole creation is waiting for God eagerly. It's eagerly waiting for us to be taken to heaven and be redeemed. Stay dressed for action and keep your lamps burning.
Blessed are those servants whom the master finds awake when he comes. Truly I say to you, he will dress himself for service and have them recline at table, and he will come and serve them.
And he will come and serve them. Did you know that if you wait for Jesus Christ when he comes back, he will wait on you at the table? He will serve you at the table. He will bring you food. He will make sure you finally have your rest. Jesus himself, our master, your master, will serve you at that feast. Watch yourselves, lest your hearts be weighed down with dissipation and drunkenness and cares of this life. It's so easy to get distracted. It's so easy to focus on being comfortable and just making money, making a nice nest for oneself. But we know that this life is not everything, and that's why the fire and brimstone sermons used to remind us that. But now they don't want us to remember that this life is really nothing compared to the eternal life in God. And if we forget, then that day will come up suddenly like a trap. Not just that people will be surprised, but it will be a trap. It's not a good thing. So stay awake at all times, praying that you may have strength to escape all these things that are going to take place and to stand before the Son of Man. There's no fun in ridiculing Christians, in ridiculing fire and brimstone preaching, in laughing at the coming of Jesus Christ. All of these things are true and they will happen. So let's not let the world ridicule us. Let's just stand firm. I'm gonna actually go out one of these days, very soon, maybe next week. I'm gonna go out on the street with a sign, "The end is near." Maybe something else. I keep meditating what message is the best for the area where I live. But we'll see, and I'll try to get somebody to come with me. So we'll see how that goes. But people need to be warned. We shouldn't allow the world to shut us up. That time will come, but it's not here yet. So we can still do the work of God.
Stay dressed for action, and keep your lamps burning. And be like men who are waiting for their master to come home from the wedding feast, so that they may open the door to him at once when he comes and knocks. Blessed are those servants whom the master finds awake when he comes. Truly I say to you, he will dress himself for service and have them recline at table, and he will come and serve them.
Thank you for listening, brothers and sisters. Jesus is coming soon. May the Lord richly bless you from Zion. Take care. Bye-bye.
Son of God and Son of Man, Lamb of God, worthy of all glory and honor and praise are you, Lord. Holy One, my Redeemer, Jesus, your name is holy. Holy One, You are Christ, Messiah alone. My King of Kings.